Have you guys ever needed a business monitor? Well, until recently, I haven't either. But I recently got one for work from home, so I figured we'd check it out. So today we're going to try to figure out if they're worth the extra costs that businesses pay for them, what the actual benefits of it are, and also if I think you should get one. All of that soon to come though. If you guys could please like and subscribe, that would really help me out as a small channel. I'm trying to make it 2,000 subscribers. But with all that out of the way, let's get into this. Okay, so let's get started out with the basic specs of this monitor. It has 100 Hertz refresh rate and about 4 milliseconds of input lag. So it's not anything used for gaming really, but it'd be better than your typical 60 Hertz monitor, assuming you can accept the VA panel type, which does add a bit of latency and motion blur, but it compensates with lower black levels so you get a better dynamic range. So it's around 3000 to 1 on this monitor. That's not anything great or outstanding, but it's still pretty good, and if you're trying to use this for light content creation, you definitely could. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty generic monitor. It has 99.5% coverage of the sRGB color space, so it is pretty good for light content creation and stuff like that. It does everything it should, but nothing crazy. But this is where my question comes in. In Samsung's own lineup, they have another monitor that's a flat version of this, still 34 inches, still 1440p, so it's still a great monitor and has great accuracy, but it costs like half as much. It's on sale for like $300 or so right now. I think maybe $340. I'm not entirely sure, it changes. But this one costs around $600 new, and then I think it's like $550 listed on Samsung's website currently. But that's my question. So for an extra $200 and some odd dollars, what do you actually get? And as far as I can tell, not a whole lot. They do have some certifications on this monitor that allows you to sell it to the government essentially. I don't know what the exact certification is, I'll put it up, it's like something there. But other than that, spec-wise, very little of this monitor is actually better than most other monitors. I will say that sometimes companies when they buy them in bulk, they get discounts. That's usually how it works as far as I can tell. So they may have gotten a deal on this, but even if they get it down to a deal where you could be buying something else, like if they get it down to a price, like let's say they got it down to like $350, that's already what you can buy competing solutions for. So what's the benefit? I don't understand the price of $550, assuming that that's what they bought them for. And if they can't get them down to the price of other monitors in their own lineup or even lower, there's I just don't understand why this monitor exists necessarily. If you can get one used off Amazon or something like that, or off eBay, or Craigslist, anything, I think that they're definitely not a bad buy. But for the price it's listed at, I definitely question whether or not you should get it. But that doesn't mean it's a bad monitor. I mean, we can go over some of the specs. So it has a DisplayPort, it has HDMI, it has USB Type-C with charging, so it actually does 65 watts of charging over USB Type-C, which is really cool. And it's got an internal power supply, so you don't have to worry about having a big power breaking out the back of it. It's got a headphone out, and it's got a USB integrated hub. So it has a ton of functionality for itself. It's a great business tool, but it's so expensive and I don't know why. The only thing I can comprehend is that if they buy them at a bulk discount, but other than that, it's so generic. It doesn't do anything special, but it costs so much more. For instance, here's a picture of a gigabyte model that actually costs like $380 or so. And it just is so much better in every measurable way. It's actually probably a similar panel to the Samsung one, but just maybe at a higher refresh rate. And actually, when you look it up, Samsung makes the panel for that model of monitor. So the panels are probably made in the same factory. It's just one is off-branded to Gigabyte and one of them is sent to Samsung, or another division of Samsung more likely. And they just put them in their own monitor chassis. So it is a very cool monitor in the sense that it does its job, but it's just a very overpriced monitor for what it is. I didn't actually pay for one, so I don't really care personally. But overall, if you're gonna try to if you're looking for a monitor and you're like, oh, I should go get a monitor from a reputable brand like Samsung, and you see this one, I don't think that this is necessarily worth picking up, especially when you can go to companies like LG and get an IPS monitor, which tends to have better viewing angles if that's something you're interested in. And being how curved it is, that's probably an important thing for you, because viewing angles are even harder to get right on ultra wide curved monitors. Overall though, not a bad purchase if you're getting it used or something like that, but I definitely would not recommend buying one new, because I just think that you can get such better value but by putting your money elsewhere. And if you're concerned about who makes the panel or reliability like that, I mean, you can either buy from reputable places like Amazon or someone who has a return policy or warranty policies. I mean, Best Buy does too, I'm pretty sure. Or you could just try looking it up yourself and seeing who makes the panel that goes in the monitor you're buying. Because realistically, if you're buying from anyone but LG or Samsung, they don't make the actual panel. Sony makes panels too, but they don't make monitors. It's a very quality product. I don't think I would buy one with my own money at all. And I think that if you are in the market, it's better to look elsewhere, especially if you're looking for something like a gaming monitor or something like that. And if you're looking for quality color and stuff like that, I might go check out LG. Other than that though, don't have a whole lot to say. Thank you guys for watching. It really helps me out as a small creator if you guys could like and subscribe. With all that out of the way, yeah, thank you.